Bottom right corner, your purple Zerg player. Unfortunately, playing on her Smurf, so one has been exposed out of the 300 that she has. This girl plays all the time. Yesterday, actually, we had her streaming for 10 hours straight, if I remember correctly. And it was Scarlett's one of those players that I don't watch for build orders and stuff. I watch for amazement. Like, she baits so much stuff. Yeah. Like, I just watch her,
though.
And
really
I enjoy it. That's all it is.
That's actually, I bring it up a lot, but Cast and Scarlett for the Play Him Sponsor Me tournament. I don't think you and I did that, actually. Did you?
I think it was you and Zoya, but...
but, wow. I mean, she's just one hell of a player. Incredible control of units, whether we're talking about Infestors or Overseers. I know that's something that when we actually got to see her at IPL 6, I remember one of the casters being like, oh, this Overseer control. And I was like, yep. Proud of my girl, Scarlett. She's down here in the bottom right. Who's she facing off against him?
Massan, the lone player from the United States of America, actually playing this far into the tournament. Actually, a lot of them got knocked out, but Massan here, going to be your red Zerg player. And man, Massan is really good. As you mentioned about 6 months ago, really started turning out really good games. I believe he is on Team 4 if I remember correctly. He had a lot of Playham wins as well. Always getting to the top, 12, 16 all the time.
Yeah.
Really great player. He has a tendency whenever he gets into an aggressive mode, he's so good at following it up and keeping units going across the middle of the map.
He's going to have his work cut out for him here, though. Scarlett is quite an adversary to try to take down. In fact, I mean, I'd have Scarlett to win everything. If you're looking at Huck, Astoji, Scarlett, Massan, probably the most favored player here. Though, you know, Huck has definitely been having a rise back to form and fame as of late. Yeah. Astoji is a fantastic player. I'm really looking forward to seeing more and more of him in the future, but I know he's been really preoccupied with his studies as of late, and it has impacted his ability to perform at the honestly, let's just say, like, the highest levels that he probably could play at if he was just full-time, full-blown StarCraft all day, all night. But he's still, I mean, a fantastic player, and hopefully he'll be able to make it to IPL 6. It
would be cool. I would enjoy to see him get there.
I mean, I really want to see him crack into that top echelon, so...
Yeah, he definitely can. So, both players, I believe, did they go for 15 hatcheries and fall into pools? It does look like it, so both respecting each other to the maximum here, going straight for economic builds, which is cool, which means that we'll most likely have layer tech come. Again, there's a couple of speedling builds that we have seen a lot from a couple players, and then you can follow up into roaches, but for the most part, both players just scouting to the overlords. There shouldn't be anything too fishy going on with these build orders.
So, as things are pretty standard, Tim, you know, we are in San Francisco, so there's any possible variety here. But you know, I know you happen to be in the women. So where do you take a girl on a first date? If you had, you know, you got all your choices out there, you go bowling, you go horseback riding.
Well, my girlfriend's actually coming out next week, which I'm excited about. Picking her up on Thursday.
And a million fangirls and boys just cry.
I don't know what we're gonna do at all. Actually, I'm ready to explore city, take over that huge bridge that we go over, and that's about it, man.
You take a girl on a bridge?
Heck yeah.
For first date?
Yeah, man, why not? Bridges are pretty.
Bridges are pretty. And you'll probably be all alone up there.
See, I don't get my appeal for being suave or anything. I get my appeal for being hella awkward, and they're like, oh my god, that is so cute. And then they fall in love with me. It's not
so you like take them to like a railroad station.
Exactly.
It's just like, what? This is adorable.
This is weird. Overlord sniping, nice. This is really cool. And the thing is, Scarlett actually skipped out on a couple of lings a little bit early on, it looks like. So this means this Overlord is free for picking here. Wow, really cool play here from Massan. If he kills out an Overlord, there's a lot of all-ins that you can do immediately after you supply block your opponent. I don't know if he'll be going straight for that route, because he's actually falling into a Roach Warren. We'll see how much gas he stacks up. Oh, he's stacking up a lot of gas. Yeah, he's going to go really aggressive.
Yeah, move that Overlord out of the way, though. Scarlett immediately moves it back because, I mean, look at the energy. It's already up to 33. You don't want to miss too much in terms of injects, but he's going to throw down the Creep Tumor for now. Scarlett at home has made a Baneling Nest, quite a few lings as well, and it's going to be moving out across the map. Massan, his Roach Warren is nearly complete, but not quite yet.
I like this timing, actually, from Scarlett. I believe, actually, if the Overlord was constantly being chased, these lings will pop out just in time to save it. Really, really nice. But two Banelings have been queued up, and this is where Scarlett really excels. She baits a lot of fights and engagements. Actually, the second queen isn't here in time. A nice block there from Massan, though, but she will get some surface area on this first queen, and it will be taking some damage while some more did sneak into the natural.
Oh, that queen is so dead. The second one is going to go down as well here, as there are just too many Zerglings on top of it. Meanwhile, drones being cleaned up down here by a couple of Zerglings. Only a quantity of 3, not all that much, but 3 drones, 2 queens. Quite a set of losses here to start the game off for Massan.
And this is one of the things for going Roach Warren. You see there, the Roaches popped out just in time. Scarlett was able to do a small timing here, where if you don't have your queens blocking right on the ramp, you're going to do damage no matter what. And it was just shown on display there. She actually killed off some drones. Can we pull off the workers kill count? Because she popped in the natural.
That's what we're saying.
3 of them. Nice. It's what is that? 450 minerals plus the lings that they killed off. Just well done.
Really, really nice. But Massan is coming across the map with quite a counterattack right now. 8 roaches. Only 4 lings accompanying this, however. So overall, actually, I mean, it looks like a huge train of units stretching across the entire map, but in reality, Scarlett should be able to hold this fairly without any difficulty.
3 spine cars, a little bit too much for Roaches to engage on. They are grouped up if he had a Baneling Nest. Unfortunately, he does have one Baneling. There we go. Finally, he's making 7. So 7 being created. This will help out with the spine cars if he can get them to land perfectly on it. But already we have Scarlett separating the spine cars and keeping those queens around that ramp.
Yeah, she does see the Banelings being morphed in with her overlords. Queen is going to get sniped out, though. Scarlett's already beginning to take some losses. Massan is coming in with the Banelings. Where are they going to make contact? Hitting, well, these 2 spine crawlers are still close. A nice transfuse, though, and this spine is still standing because of it.
So yeah, do have some lings coming out very soon. Got to be careful for that one Baneling. If these lings pop out and do get a decent surround, it will be okay here for Massan. He's breaking forward. 1 roach does fall as well and runs straight in the main, but only 3 roaches left and a few lings. He's also followed up with pure drone production afterwards because he can't straight up kill Scarlett.
That's true. Scarlett's spawning roaches of her own. Now they will be able to rally a defense here. Not too many drones. In fact, no workers killed it all so far from Massan. Finally, a worker does fall. Scarlett has lost at this point 2 drones, having held off that counterattack successfully. Let's take a look at where players are at behind us.
Yeah, Massan did a good job of realizing, okay, I can't straight up kill her. She has 3 spine crawlers. She's got a decent amount of units falling up. She's got a lot of larvae available to her. There's no way I'm going to kill her, so I'm going to go ahead and drone up. And he did so. Just followed up with his roaches, ran in the main, and tried to get a couple of kills. And it worked out for him. He's actually got a lair ahead of Scarlett. He started right after those roaches died off as well. And Scarlett actually falls up into a really quick 3rd. Although the problem with it, though, is Scarlett's already got a lair completely done.
Yeah, she does. She started up Glial Reconstitution. Both players with 3rds on the way, but Scarlett's is ahead. So Scarlett's ahead on tech. She is slightly ahead on upgrades, though Massan's going to be queuing up his +1 on the ground. Scarlett could. Looks like she may be going for some sort of a timing here, actually, with Glial and +1. I mean, Massan's investing a little more towards the late game. Though Scarlett could throw down an Infestation Pit momentarily. And if she does, you know, definitely could be gearing for that late game as well. We'll keep an eye to see if such a tech does go down in the near future.
Yeah, I think you're correct about this roach push. How many drones does she have? Because you have to have around a little 43. Okay, so she's gone to 49. Yeah, she'll be able to produce nothing but roaches straight up off of 3 gases with 3 bases.
Hatch, right? Oh, no, that's actually her 3rd.
That's her 3rd. She's going to have a lot of aggression available to her very soon. You see the supply jump up, she has 108 supply available to her, and just constantly turn out roaches, hit this +1 timing attack, and get in there and do some damage. And it should hit before that +1 carapace does finish up by about 20 seconds.
Yeah, this is actually awesome. I mean, the Glial Reconstitution going to finish in just 10 seconds here, and that's going to let her move across the map. There's going to be a very small span of time, but here the roach is pumping out now. And this is going to be a big timing out of Scarlett. Massan, luckily for him, has not invested into any additional tech, though. If he had gone for Infestors on top of this 1-1, or Hydras or something of that nature, he'd probably be guaranteed dead. As it stands, he definitely can hold this off perfectly fine, as long as he plays everything right. But in fact, he's going to go for the Infestation Pit. This is pretty risky for Massan.
Yeah, he won't be able to get out of Infestors quickly enough. He has an Overlord spread, though, so he'll be able to start turning out a lot of roaches, and we should be seeing it in the production tab very soon here. 9 on the way, that'll make it 23 to 20, but 9 more on the way for Scarlett as well. So she's constantly going to keep pumping out these roaches. She can afford to. She's on 49 drones, which allows her to just keep on moving up, and also sprinkle on a couple drones if she would like.
All right, Scarlett's forcing her way up the choke now. She's able to just stutter step through her superior roach count, making all the difference.
Not done.
Yep, it's just 1 roach. 1-1 actually has completed for Scarlett. In fact, she must have researched that earlier, something we did neglect to see. Now the roaches from Massan are falling incredibly fast. The roach count finally for Scarlett has been diminished, though, and she will have to fall back to her reinforcements, which are stringing across the map.
Yep, more roaches joining in as well, but Massan now being equal on roach count just needs to make sure that he gets decent engagements, and he'll be right in holding this off. and he did have a bit of a drone lead going into this, so it could be pretty hard for Scarlett to straight up kill off Massan. Massan playing very well, going with the counterattack as well. You can see him just pushing across the middle of the map. I don't think he's going to go completely all in here. You may want to get a couple of Infestors on the field because he did finish up that tech. Yeah, there he goes, finally pulling back. And it looks like Scarlett's falling up into her own +2 infestation pit. So it's a nice back and forth action between our two players.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of damage dealt so far. Now Massan is sitting at 1-1. Scarlett as well. Massan will be following this up, at least with his +2 missile. We'll see if he goes for the carapace as well. But pretty tight game so far between these two players. Massan currently leading a little bit in the supply. Tech as well, you know, his infestation pit is done, but Scarlett's is just completing as well. We'll see. No, she's going to go for the roaches right now, worried about this attack from Massan as he continues to pick off units of Scarlett.
Yeah, she can't straight up fight this at our natural with Infestors quite yet because she didn't have Pathing Land started. Now she finally starts it up, and that's why we saw her queue up roaches before going into Infestors. I don't think Massan's actually started his Pathing Lands. Can we check really quick?
He has not. His
Yeah, he has not. So he was actually planning on doing a lot of damage with the counterattack there, and realized, you know what, maybe I can't quite do it. He did have an Overseer, I believe, floating around outside that natural, so got an idea of what Scarlett was falling up into.
He's going to opt for the carapace, though, instead of the pathogen glands and infestor route for the moment. So no infestors inbound for Massan right now. Scarlett is going to be making that transition, and with quite an amount, 5 infestors currently on the way for our purple Zerg player.
Yeah, I'm really curious for Massan just going for that +2 too. It's nice, it's helpful, but Infestors, when they do land the fungal, it's really helpful because he's grouping up his units very fairly, and he just wants to kill her before the Infestors pop out, and he's going to go and engage right away. Remember, it is equal upgrades, and it looks like he has just a couple more roaches.
Well, this is actually exactly what Massan needs to be doing versus a player who's going for Infestors. If you keep the roach counts low enough, Infestors are actually pretty bad. But if, you know, Scarlett can get her Infestors behind a large roach composition, she's still got enough roaches here. If Massan had forced a lot of these roaches to die, the Infestors would be stranded alone with no roaches. In this situation, Scarlett can engage, and she will. Is going to now be falling back to the Infestors. Nice splitting out of Massan, though only catching 7 roaches there with that fungal.
Oh, wow. 3 great fungals in a row, just hitting a lot of roaches, and it's allowing Scarlett to get decent engagement when the first line comes up. When the second line engages, she has to pull back, and she knows it as well. 16 roaches about to pop, though, and those roaches are getting low on HP. Massan's like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared for Massan here because we're about to have a huge flank coming from behind, and there it is actually, as Scarlett is going to hold the push quite nicely, and will force a retreat, and Massan actually expanded and went to Hive behind this.
Yeah, Massan had a great roach count, but all of his units were in the yellow, in the orange, whereas Massan had most of his units in the green. So although it looked like Massan was in a great position there, you can actually see the health on his units were incredibly low. Scarlett now going to be flanking around the side. It's going to be difficult for Massan to be able to hold on to this base. There are Infestors coming up behind this army, and this is, well, they're actually pretty low on energy. Scarlett may have to fall back from this position. We'll see. She's going to try to engage. Actually, carapace is not yet complete. Still 10 more seconds, so the upgrades are equal, and Scarlett with 29 to 29 roaches, what an equal fight.
Moving in right away, but now 2-2 is done for Massan. Is he going to be able to break on through? And can we pull up the production tab really quick? More roaches are actually on the way for Scarlett. Massan trying to reinforce as well, but it looks like Scarlett is breaking through, and she also got a couple more Infestors sprinkled in there as well with more energy, so they'll have fungals for the next engagement.
Exactly what I was just thinking. You know, Massan held equal on ground on that fight, but what happens when Scarlett's energy is back? Her Infestors are sitting at home right now just pulling it up, and you know when they have fungal growth, and she goes for this attack with +2/+2. These Infestors that she's got. Massan still has not even started Pathogen Glands. He does not intend to go for Infestors at all. I think he wanted to ramp his way to 3-3 real quick, but definitely concerned about his position.
Yeah, he just certainly wanted to go straight into Hive, get that 3-3 as you mentioned, and just really depend on his micro and engagements. We saw him splitting up very nicely, actually, against Scarlett in this bottom fourth when we saw the engagement earlier.
Yeah.
The problem was Scarlett still got nice groups of fungals on top of roaches. Yep. He needs to spread them a little bit more. And
a lot more.
Yeah, something you kind of have to do before you get into the engagement.
It's a cool switch of metagame here from Massan because, you know, now infested Terrans don't get the upgrades anymore. So playing with this nature in mind, Massan, you know, going for just roach, well, if you can split perfectly and not ever get hit by huge fungals, this actually may be better. It's definitely up for argument. So I like what Massan's trying to do here. The thing is, he cannot get caught by these fungal growths that Scarlett has. If they do land in good form, Scarlett's going to take this game, and these are some pretty big fungals.
Yeah, she caught him at an angle where he was trying to spread again. Now she moves and hugs up on those roaches, and now they just can't escape. You're forced to fight as Massan, or you take too much damage as you run away. And we just see the units dwindling here from Massan. Scarlett pushing through. Yeah, even getting Hydras mixing in as well. As we see 3 on the way, 9 more roaches. We even have the Hydra range being queued up as well. Scarlett very content with where she's at. She did finish Hive as well, so she can move into her own three upgrades. I think she still only has 1 evolution chamber, but still able to move up into her own tech. And if she keeps getting these good engage with these fungals, she's going to just win. And we've been seeing it time and time and time again.
Yeah, and she's even completed Hive, starting +3. Groove Spine's on the way as well now at this point for Scarlett. Her creep spread, it could be a bit better to go for Hydras, but it's going to be perfectly fine because from this point, she's going to get some damage in, and from there, she can just play defensively if for some reason she can't secure the game.
I'm so happy with Massan's Overlord spread, though. It's so nice.
Yeah.
Everywhere in the map. I just wanted to point that out real quick before we have this engagement about to happen on this 4th right away. Running straight in. Do we have the fungals quite yet? No, just going to throw down some Infested Terrans. And the better concave is actually here from Massan. Will it be enough? It does look like it, actually. He may force Scarlett to pull on back.
Well, the Infested Terrans are getting in some damage now. Roaches are falling for both players. Supply favoring Scarlett by quite a margin, however. Even though Massan's got more units on the way, the Hydra's in the back with that supplemented DPS is going to force Scarlett back, but only for the moment, I fear, as we have 170 supply versus 140. Scarlett's 4th base is actually both players here. Still sitting on great economies. Scarlett only 4 workers ahead of Massan right now. This is incredibly close, Tim, for a player who doesn't have Infestors. I'm impressed from Massan.
I actually felt like that engagement, Massan had way more roaches than Scarlett. I want to say a good, what, 10 to 11 maybe? But the Hydras not being touched. They were just shredding to that left side of the wall there. And by the time that engagement almost ended, the numbers got equal. And if that engagement kept going, we would have seen Scarlett push through. A nice job from Massan just burrowing straight underneath and getting that health back because he was not going to win that engagement, it looked like, as time progressed.
Yeah, oh, so now Scarlett with this Hydra-based army is going to be able to run around the map, and earlier we were complimenting Massan's incredible Overlord spread, but now it's coming back to bite him.
Yeah, in Hydra with Infestors and Fungal is really strong. They outrange Roaches with that upgrade, so if you land a nice Fungal and you don't allow the Roaches to get up on the Hydras, they're going to tear through them, but the Fungals are key. They have to land no matter what. Massan's already getting ready for it. He needs to charge on up before he gets Fungal, but he gets Fungal. And see the Hydras, actually, they're just hitting these Roaches on the top right and not getting touched because the range is too much.
Well, the Hydra, or the Roaches are going to burrow, but Scarlett's got an Overseer standing right over them. Whoops, he says, with quite clever spelling, and that's going to be it. Scarlett taking game number 1.
Oh, man. Good game from Massan, though. You would think everyone's thinking Scarlett's just going to straight up crush through him, and for the most part, there was moments there where I was like, wow, Massan is impressing me. And this is a player that you guys need to watch out for. He is really good. Obviously, he's in the semifinals.
Yeah, if you know, Massan isn't one of the most well-known players, which is one of the reasons I actually really like going out of my way to promote him. I know he streams a lot, so if you're a Zerg player looking to, experiment with some interesting play styles, Massan having great Infestorless play here versus Scarlett, really battling it out well into the late game. Are the Fungals what made the difference there?
Yeah, certainly. The patience also from Scarlett. There would be points where Massan was getting ready to push in. He would spread his units nicely, but right when he gets ready for a huge A move on top of units, they just naturally group up again, and that's when she would land the Fungals. A lot of players, whenever there's an engagement happening, they throw the Fungals down first and then come in with the engagement. She just waited for the opportunity to happen, allowed her Roaches to take some damage, and that was just perfect baiting. And like I mentioned, she does that a lot in a lot of her engagements, whether it be a couple of Queens baiting for some Lings or Roaches right there, baiting to get a Fungal.
That's a fantastic point to make. I know a lot of times I'll open up engagements. You're used to opening with Infested Terrans versus a lot of races. You do that versus Marine Tank, you do it versus Protoss to bait some Colossus shots. So you just naturally are like, oh, Fungals. But you're absolutely right. In that situation, it's definitely in your best interest to wait for those Roaches to clump. So, guys, we're going to cut to a quick 2-minute break, ponder on those excellent points Tim was just making, and see you guys back for game number 2.